गुड इवनिंग। सीरीज शुरू होने में बहुत बहुत कम वक्त रह गया, मतलब कुछ घंटों की बात है। देखा जाए तो परसों से ये सीरीज का आगाज होना है, भारत बनाम ऑस्ट्रेलिया। दुनिया में इससे बड़ी क्रिकेट नहीं है और हमने सोचा क्यों नहीं स्पोर्ट्स तक पर ही आपके लिए हर रोज एक्सक्लूसिव इंटरव्यू लेकर आए। मेरे साथ शोभित हैं, इनको आपने देखा है, लेकिन खास मेहमान माइकल क्लार्क। ये वही शख्स हैं जिन्होंने वर्ल्ड कप जीता और उसके बाद कप्तानी छोड़ दी। माइकल, of course, this is superseded India-Pakistan. India versus Australia is the biggest series for us in the world right now. We do not expect anything less than that in this series.
Yeah, I think it's no different for Australia, to be honest. I think it's every time Australia plays India, whether it's in India or in Australia, it's so important. I think this is a massive series for the Australians to try and get some momentum back. We obviously didn't perform as well as we would have liked in Bangladesh recently. Our form hasn't been fantastic. We're still ranked number 2 in ODI cricket. And if we play well, we have the opportunity to go to number 1. But if we don't play well, we also end up going to number 3 or number 4. So, there's so much to play for, and I have no doubt it's going to be as competitive as the Test series was.
Michael, teams have come to India and they've lost badly, but not Australia. You look at the past instances where Australia have come here and they've fought well. They've won games as well.
Yeah, look, I think Australia, certainly in the shorter formats, knows conditions so well. The guys playing IPL, so they spend a lot of time over here, so I think that plays a big part. And I think Australia's confident playing in these conditions now because you spend so much time here. So Test cricket's a lot different. The pitches are a lot different. So I think the Aussies will still be confident. Yes, we don't have Josh Hazlewood or Mitchell Starc, 2 big losses. But
Aaron Finch is also suspect for the first game.
Yeah, Aaron Finch is in doubt. But in saying that, India don't have Jadeja, Ashwin and
They've
Shikhar
been dropped.
Dhawan as
They've been
well.
dropped.
So-
Shikhar's been, he's taken leave, but I believe Ashwin and Jadeja have been dropped.
So I think it probably evens itself out. But either way, I think we're in for a fantastic series.
Shobit,
Yeah, I just wanted to ask because, of course, an India versus Australia series is a battle between Virat Kohli versus Steve Smith in terms of they're the best batsmen in the world, not just the best batsmen, but the leaders of their teams. But do you think this battle is more in the media, or are the teams also focusing on, like Aussies focusing on Virat and India focusing on Smith and Warner?
No, I think it's definitely a media battle. I think there's no doubt Smith and the Australian team will look at Virat Kohli, but they'll look at every other batsman as well. And India will do the same. I think there's so many good players in both teams. You go through the list. If Finch is fit, Finch and Warner to open, Smith at number 3, Travis Head's a great young player. And then you go through India's team. Is it KL Rahul that opens with Rohit Sharma, Kohli at 3, MS Dhoni the experience, Hardik Pandya, Manesh Pandey. Like, there's so many good players. I think either team would be very silly to just focus on one player.
You mentioned, Virat Kohli and MS Dhoni, but do the Aussies see a vulnerability in Indian middle order? Because Yuvraj Singh is not there. Experienced head is only MS Dhoni in the middle, and he has to guide the likes of Rahul, Kedar Jadhav, Hardik Pandya, and Manish Pandey, all of whom are very talented.
4 and 6.
Yeah, look, I think the middle order is very strong, but I think the key for Australia is to look to get the top 3 out early. So get into the middle order in that first 10 overs. If you can get rid of, the 2 openers and the captain at number 3, I think it's a different game, there's no doubt. But if one of those top 3 go on and make 100, it allows the younger players to bat around that senior player. That's what India will be trying to do. But it's the same for Australia. You want to get, if Finch is fit, you want to get Finch, Warner and Smith out early and get stuck into Australia's middle order as well. So, to me, yes, the pitches are going to be great for batting. Yes, we've got wonderful batsmen in both teams. But who's going to win this game and win this series for their teams, in my opinion, are the bowlers. If you can bowl an opposition team out, I think you'll win the game.
So it's not batting versus batting. You're saying whichever team bowls a little less, which is weaker in bowling, will most likely lose the.
I think whichever team's got the most aggressive approach with the ball and tries to attack the batsman early on and bowl them out, bowl the opposition out, I think that team will win the series.
So how critical is Mitchell Starc not being there?
Him and Hazlewood are 2 big losses, but in the same breath, Pat Cummins is fit, which is a great sign for Australian cricket. Nathan Coulter-Nile's played a lot of short-form cricket over here. Kane Richardson, very good. Adam Zampa. You got Travis Head, who can bowl some right arm off spin. Glenn Maxwell, Ashton Agar's in the squad, and we've got some more rounders. I love seeing James Faulkner back in the Australian squad. I think he's a match winner. I think he's got to play in the 11 because he'll find a way to get a wicket and find a way to win that game at the back end with the bat. So whether they select him or not, I'm not sure, but I would be picking Faulkner in my 11. So there's plenty of options, plenty of bowling options for Australia to attack the Indian team.
I remember that game, Faulkner, the Mohali game, where Dhoni scored a century. Faulkner came in and just blasted off the run.
Absolutely, but you know what I wanted to ask you, like the last time Aussies came over here, we saw a very high scoring series. Will this series also be that high scoring series, scores of 300, 350 being chased easily?
I think we're definitely going to see a lot of runs. I don't know if it'll be that high, but I think we'll see an average score of about 290 to 300. A lot will depend on the dew. If there's dew at night, I think no matter what a team gets in the first innings, you can chase that in the second innings. So if dew's going to play a part, and the players will know that more than me, then I think you'll see a lot of teams look to bowl first and chase every game.
Which would mean that the toss becomes very critical. So it's skill versus skill. There's also your luck.
Yeah, I think it'll play. If there's dew, I think the toss will play a part, definitely.
Jadeja, Ashwin, you said they're not being there helps the Australians. Now there's a tendency, there's a theory within India which says that since India had not been picking up wickets in the middle overs, so both the finger spinners are out. Ashwin and Jadeja have been dropped. How would you look at that?
Well, I heard they've been rested, so whether they're rested or dropped, if they want to play for Australia, they're more than welcome. We'll have them. Look, I think the three young Indian spinners that are in the squad are very good as well. I'm a huge fan of Kuldeep Yadav. I think he's a superstar in the making. Left-arm Chinaman, got a great wrong-un. Very aggressive and a great attitude to bowling. He wants to take wickets. He wants to be in the game. So, you know, it's a wonderful opportunity for him and the other two guys as well, who both perform very well in Sri Lanka. So, you know, again, it shows the strength of the Indian squad. I think if you think about and talk about the World Cup in 2019, the key to success is having a great squad. Not just the 11 players. At the moment, India are building a very strong squad.
Suresh Raina, Yuvraj Singh, as Shobit mentioned. Michael, would you reckon they're still in or they're out of that periphery?
I think you never rule players like that out. You know, Raina, you know, I've watched him on social media, how fit he is now, the training, the work he's putting in. You know, there's no reason he can't walk out at the start of the season in India, score 300 or 400s, and then he's back in. Yeah. And Yuvraj, you know, so many people have written him off over a long period of time, yet he continues to prove people wrong. You know, he's been a wonderful player for India over a long period of time. You know, both of them bat, bowl, field. When you do all three facets very well, you're a chance of playing in the shortest form of the game, definitely. So, no, I think it's going to come down to performances. If this current middle order doesn't perform, then there's absolutely no reason why Raina and Yuvraj can't come back in and perform.
Provided they score runs and that 16.1 yo-yo test, absolutely. The parameter that has been said.
That all Indian cricketers fear now. That's something.
Michael, what's your score? If you were to take a yo-yo test today, what would your score be?
Geez, I don't know. I still train every day, so I'd like to think I'm still as fit as I was when I played. I think the last time I did the yo-yo, I got 17.1. So that means I'll make the Indian team by the sound of it.
Yeah. We'd still want him in our team.
He's the World Cup winning captain.
Exactly.
Technically,
we need the experience in the middle order.
Don't want me, trust me.
But we'll have to go for the show, so let's. I'll have to take your lead. But before that, your scoreline for this series?
I'm going to go 3-2 to the Aussies.
3-2 to the Aussies. Remains to be seen. The message to Virat Kohli and company. If you have to win the next World Cup, you have to prove this man wrong.
Well, thanks for watching. And indeed, you know, on Sports Stuck, Michael would be with us throughout the series. It's a privilege for us, for our viewers, to have Michael around, because it's not as if, you know, Michael being a former Australian captain only speaks about Australia. The one good thing, Michael, that the viewers shared with us is the fact that you're so unbiased, so neutral. And you're a semi-Indian by now.
My wife thinks I should become a resident. I spend more time in India than I do in Australia. But I think, you know, people want honesty. You know, to me, yes, I love seeing Australian cricket do well. There's no doubt about it. But I love good cricket. I love seeing teams, you know, fight for that victory. And, you know, may the best team win. If India are good enough to win the series, I'll make sure I'm there to congratulate all the players, and I'll obviously talk about them with India today. So, yeah, I have no bias to any team. I want to see great cricket.
Of course, one final comment from me. Throughout the series, Michael has picked up some Hindi words, so do tune in. We'll be asking him to express some of those in the days to come. But thanks so much for joining us, Michael, today. On the show.
Before he started doing commentary in India, he already knew Hindi. He was the Australian captain. Before that, he was the Indian. Yes.
A tiny.
Indians in the field with Hindi.
Or God sledge. Or God sledge.
That's not true. Definitely got sledged.
Definitely not.
Thanks,
Thank you
guys.
so much. Thank you so much.